women that are or were in your profession used to be, according to you, revered to some degree, and now they're looked down upon? Is that,
absolutely.
How's that misogynistic, though? Because a man could also be a prostitute, and I suppose that would be looked down upon also.
I think there's been a shift in culture where men do hate on women.
Men do, broadly speaking, generally speaking?
That there's a negative view and a nasty viewpoint towards sex workers that is ignorant.
How so? How is it ignorant?
How's it ignorant?
What specifically is ignorant?
When you don't get it because you don't understand.
Don't understand what? What do we not understand?
The service that we are providing for other human beings that is beneficial.
Well, I think we acknowledge that you exchange sex for money. I do not lack understanding in that regard. So what specifically do I or does he not understand?
It's not just sex.
I acknowledge you also.
I agree. You try to just summarize it as being sex for money, but that's not what it is. That literally shows your misunderstanding of the entire conceptualization of what it is that we provide.
That is by definition what a prostitute or an escort or whatever term you want to use, hooker, sex for money. That is do you disagree that that's the definition of somebody who...
Absolutely, yes, in the sense that it's not always about sex.
It's
Many
not
people
only
don't
that.
even want to have sex at all.
Correct.
Many
Yes,
people
that's
sometimes
fine.
just want to cuddle,
yes.
want to talk, want to process,
No
want
issue
to
with
be
that.
held.
Totally acknowledge that there are men
Then
or
why are
women.
we considering it sinful or problematic or something to judge or look down upon within society? Why do we have an issue that there's a profession that women make more money than men? The reason
I don't think that's why people have an issue with prostitution. No.
Well, then why do you think people have an issue with it?
Well, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of reasons.
Yeah,
Why?
a lot of people suggest, the evidence shows there's the societal damages that happen with prostitution.
Please cite the studies.
Yeah, societal damage.
We got into this last time, but
I know
there
the
are
statistics about the benefits of legal sex work. Let's go, buddy. I defended legal sex work. And I will do it again right here, right now.
That's
I know
fine.
my numbers, do you?
I'm not talking about... So, yeah, we can talk about numbers. You can bring up your numbers.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It should be about statistics. That is what evidence is.
Let's talk numbers and let's talk sites and let's talk sources because you're bringing it up. What is your evidence? Go.
Am I going to be able to talk, or are you just going to...
Go with evidence.
I have a comment on after he's done.
Why are you stopping? We're having you... Go.
Okay, every time I start talking... There's some interjection.
We want to hear your evidence.
Olivia, you have
stop
been
talking.
Olivia, you
just
frequently interrupt.
Just pause.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so if you look throughout history, so specifically the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, and the Babylonian Empire, when the pillar of the nuclear family of traditional relationships has been taken out in those societies, that is when they fail, because there is as children are raised in a normal household with a mother and a father, and it is not a broken home, you see the flourishing of society. And as those things are deteriorated, you start to see societies fail. So reference the Babylonian Empire, the Greek Empire, and the Roman Empire. So as we see American society, and we can... I think we could probably agree here that America is not as healthy as... it's not in this healthiest state it's ever been in. Mm-hmm. We have serious problems. There are serious relationship problems. So in the dating marketplace, I don't want to get very political, but in the dating marketplace, it's pretty garbage right now.
Okay.
So I think we can agree upon that. So we see that in history, as the relationship between a husband and a wife has been deteriorated and destroyed, we've seen societies fail. So as we see the relationship between a husband and a wife be deteriorated in our society, what makes that any different? So, why do we think that we're the exception to the rule?
Okay, so I'd like to discuss that point.
Yeah, please.
Let's first start with what makes a quality society. Would you agree that democracy and a fairness to how we treat people is part of how a society should function?
I wouldn't say democracy. I would say how America was designed to run as a republic, so not a pure democracy.
Oh, no, we're not talking about America. I wanted to talk about specifically when we talk about our very first historical piece of evidence that we ever have in regards to legislation, how society should run and operate. What kinds of things do you think were in that document?
So I think America is the most successful country to ever exist.
No. We're talking about history.
I know.
We're going to Hammurabi's Code here. Are you familiar with this text?
I have not read Hammurabi's Code.
Okay, so in Hammurabi's Code, it actually specifically speaks as to how sex workers should be treated very early on in the text. In our earliest form of society, sex workers were there at the beginning of society as a structural support within society.
So what major power in the world right now bases their society on Hammurabi's Code?
Again, you were talking about history here. You brought out 3 historical examples of society. So let's talk about those historical things. Sex work has been with us since the dawn of time. It's something that isn't going to go anywhere. We have historical evidence of it all throughout history, through every civilization, all throughout the globe, including in the modern day world. You can't say that sex work is the reason why society crumbles.
I'm not saying it's the only reason. I'm saying
it's not a reason at all, because it exists in every society at the beginning of societies, including the beginning of this society. How do you think people were motivated to go out to the wild, wild west? It was the women who ran and operated brothels right there, literally in Nevada. Many of the brothels.
You're saying the American expansion into the West is because of prostitution?
It was encouraged by it. It was a motivating factor for men to go out to the frontier. It was a perk, genuinely and truly. Gold. It was a perk. They could get gold. And what did they do with their gold? There was only so many things that were available in these towns, and one of those things that were available
that was Western expansion
those things,
was due to prostitution.
Not only that, we were consulted upon by the people in the town when it came to how the town functioned and operated. It's not a hot take.
It's absolutely
fact.
true history fact. And tell them about the madam that took care of all the guys that were mining the gold and got sick.
What?
Yes.
I remember
oh
this
my
story.
goodness,
And then
yes.
she was in the
brothels.
Parade. Like,
yes. Brothels
historically
converted
parades.
into hospitals and certain points throughout history.
By definition, are sinners. Trying to spin it is delusional at best, more likely a lie you tell yourself.
See, this is a misogynist right
I will take my
here.
dusty old book over anything you have to say.
Grid 1 Motorsports. Olivia says that you're a...
He's been on one too.
Olivia says that you're a misogynist.
That prostitution contributes to breakdown of the family unit.
I have a question.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with the TTS. I'll fix it for next show. You use the word misogynist again. What is a misogynist? Oh, I'll re-trigger it. Sorry, Doc. I'll re-trigger it in a sec. What's a misogynist? How do you define misogyny?
I would say that like men that diss and hate women for their being.
It's men. Could a woman be a misogynist?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yes.
Yeah,
I guess like against men or against women too. Actually, there's female and there's femcells.
Yeah.
There is.
Femcells?
Yeah, there is.
Hold on, let me let this one come in.
There is no question that prostitution contributes to breakdown of the family unit. Breakdown of the families results in decline in mental and physical health.
Thank you, Doc, for the source.
995 present.
Okay.
I have a very important statement.
Make your statement.
Okay,
Make your
here's my
statement. Go ahead with the statement.
Here's my statement. I don't know necessarily if I don't have the stats or whatever, but if prostitution behind closed doors that's legal, I don't believe that can contribute to the breakdown of society. But you know what I do believe that can break down. Man.
One sec.
I've never heard a person say that Americans expanded west to get their Johnson wet. The main reason is due to economics and land ownership.
Never heard of that. So anyways,
do you want to respond to Bender the Offender?
Sure, I'll happily respond.
You said that westward movement in the United States was... Holy fuck, there's a lot of...
What? Oh.
Did you have it muted, Nick?
Legit making points about a code written for...
What is going on? What's happening?
Just let us speak.
He likes